Hey everybody, Jim Powers with MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision as we catch up with our coaches this week. And we kind of caught up with this guy last night after the selection show, and the smile has not left his face. It's our men's soccer coach, David Korn. And has it set in yet, buddy? National tournament, Division II, first time ever in program history.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I think some of those accomplishments certainly are, I wouldn't say set in yet. I think the reality, though, of continuing to play and be in the postseason is something that I think we expected. I think we felt like we had a group that was capable of. And I think like Billy had even mentioned last night, I think he said it really well 3 months ago, this is something that we had hoped and thought we could reach. And so from that perspective, it's an awesome accomplishment, but also something I think now we have to be really ready for and be aggressive as we head into.
And I know how agonizing it's been for the last 7 days. I mean, you know, after the Southern Indy game, and then what do we do? How do we approach things? And I know the guys have really kept with what they've been doing all year, and that's been awesome to see. But just the pins and needles for the last 7 days just had to be excruciating.
It was. I mean, I think our guys were very disappointed leaving the Southern Indy game, and it took a couple days to kind of process that. And it wasn't an easy thing to practice and train at the prospect of playing in the NCAA tournament at that point in time, 8 or 9 days from when we were kind of talking to the guys and trying to get the group to recover. So I think last week was healthy to process that. I think last night was a good opportunity for the guys to celebrate their accomplishments this season. And I'm sure that will breathe some energy as we head into practice today.
Let's talk about 5 guys that made all conference accolades. First off, J.D. Sohn, co-freshman of the year, well-deserved. I mean, I think he should have gotten it outright personally, and that's the homer in me, but J.D., what a tremendous freshman campaign for him.
Yeah, and I mean, to his credit, I thought he had a really good preseason. I think impressed his teammates, impressed the coaching staff, so came in very ready. And then I think the start of the season, he had a lot of good moments, but hadn't put together maybe as many complete games as he would have liked or we knew he was capable of. And to his credit, I think he got better and better throughout, the fall campaign. And I think, his potential still in terms of as he continues to adjust to the position over the next 4 years is really high.
Second team, Christian, Pontus. We know what Christian's all about, and it's unfortunate that him and the keeper from Rockhurst just battle tooth and nail all year, and Christian just gets, second team. But once again, another great accomplishment. And Pontus, what a great year for him leading the team in points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for those two guys, and like you said, I think Christian had a tremendous regular season, and I think our defense, not only our back four, but our group as a whole, their mentality was much improved going into this year. And obviously Christian did a great job of handling what was in front of him and more than deserving of being one of the top goalkeepers in the conference and ultimately in the country as well. And for Pontus, I think it was good to see him. I think the William Jewell game kind of brought to life his scoring prowess, and he continued that, the second half of the season for us. So in a stretch where we really need it, because we had some injuries to a couple guys who had scored some goals for us early in the season, and it was good to see him come on, to see Helgi come on with some goals late in the season as well. So it's, I think from that perspective, I think we have a lot of different options in the attack.
Jorgen making third team, no surprise there. Ewan, just the job he's done leading that back line with Billy and with Eric and with Christian. Two guys that I really think deserve to be mentioned in the all conference honors.
Yeah, I mean, Ewan's certainly deserving of it and has had a really good freshman campaign, and I think is going to be someone not only that we can continue to rely on as a defender, but has a personality that I think can potentially be a leader and continue to mature as he grows in the program over his 4 years. And I think it's the awards from the defensive part are hard to pinpoint. I think Andrew Russell had a fantastic campaign and probably isn't glorious or should say glamorous in how he stands out, but he's very steady and has done really well for us. And he wasn't 2 years ago a defender and has grown into being a cornerstone of our back line, one that was the strongest defensive team throughout the course of the regular season in the league. And then I think Gavino and Billy are both tremendous defensive players who also offer us the ability to get forward in the attack. And like you had mentioned about Eric is hard to ignore, but maybe it's not quantified with his goal-scoring prowess. He's a guy that breaks up a lot of plays, can keep possession for us, and now all of a sudden makes Jorgen look a little bit better.
UND on the docket next. We beat them in the regular season finale 2-0. What do we need to do to take care of business there and move on to play the number 2 seed in the region, Rockhurst, on Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, I think the very first thing is we got to understand it's a brand new game, so we've got to be aggressive when we start. I thought we were a little bit slow to start the game when we played them previously, and I think much of that was to Indy's credit that they're going to be a good team technically. They're very well organized and coached, and I think a team that can continue to control the game at times on the ball. So we have to do a good job defensively to be aggressive and to dictate play a little bit more, not only with our ball pressure and our defensive shape, but also in terms of some of our ability on the ball to play through the spaces that there are throughout the course of the match and continue to threaten and cause some trouble on their defense and goalkeeper.
Awesome stuff, buddy. Road trip to Kansas City. Nothing better than playing soccer in the middle of November, is it?
It's awesome. We're excited.
No doubt about it. Thanks so much, David. And I know me and you will be doing a lot of talking while we're on the road to KC.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Jim.
David Korn joins us now. You'll be able to follow all the action on NCAA.com. We play UIndy Friday night, 7 p.m. out in Kansas City. When we win that game, we'll take on Rockhurst on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. The games will be streamed on NCAA.com. Also, there'll be live stats available. You'll be able to follow us on Twitter as we're going to have wall-to-wall coverage of the men's first ever NCAA tournament berth. For Coach, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week, and as always, go Saints.
Go Saints.